All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the, hang on one second, Thursday, July 17th, 2025, 6 p.m. edition of the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Robert Tatro. I'm the chair. I'm calling the meeting to order. So allow me to read my script. I'll get through all my formalities, and we'll get the meeting underway. Good evening, everyone. I call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. on July 17th, 2025. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and thank you all for attending. Please note that the meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Is there anyone recording the meeting here this evening? Hearing none, seeing none. Before we proceed, let me remind everyone to ensure that the meeting runs smoothly, efficiently, and respectfully, that only one person may speak at a time, and each speaker must be recognized by the chair before proceeding. We will also adhere to the established agenda. In the interest of time, we will limit each speaker's comments to 2 minutes. Please be concise and avoid repetitive points already made by others. If a point has been covered, we kindly ask that you refrain from repeating it to ensure that we allow everyone a chance to contribute. All righty. So the first order of business we have is to reorganize. We are up for that again. So do I have a motion to open the meeting to begin with? Let's do that.
Mr. Chairman, motion to open the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the first item on the agenda this evening is our annual reorganization. Do I have a motion to open nominations for reorganization?
Mr. Chairman, motion to open nominations for reorganization.
Excellent. I just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. So the first one is for chair. Do I have a motion for chair?
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to nominate Robert Tatro, said self, for chairman. I think that our present chairman's done an excellent job of keeping us straight, running this business, and so I would make that motion.
Thank you. Do I have any other motions for chair?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Me. No, I'm kidding. Thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate you allowing me to be your referee for another year, so thank you. I'm humbled.
Referee.
So do I have a motion for vice chair?
Sure. I'll make a motion to nominate Michael Marin as vice chair. Just for the record, currently already sits as vice chair.
Do I have any comments or seconds?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. Thank you very much for your service too as well, sir. I appreciate your ability to get to the bottom of things as you do, so.
Yes.
Our co-referee, if you will.
Yes.
Co-referee, great. No, I'm in very good company. I'm humbled by it. Thank you very much.
And the last thing I get to finally mention about this is that we have Ms. Bush as a full voting member now. So thank you very much for sticking out for probably the longest internship in the history of any board in town. And we're looking forward to it. I think at one point in my career, I actually taught gang classes, and you could probably join 3 or 4 different criminal organizations quicker than you could have gotten on the zoning board as a full voting member. So well done, but thank you. All right, so do I have a motion to close the reorganization process? I think is that the best way to say it.
Mr. Chairman, motion to close the reorganization process.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. Excellent. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so we have the 6 p.m. applicant, Regency RE Investments, LLC, requesting a special permit under Section 3.2.5.14 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a car wash facility at 861, 871, 879, and 873 Southbridge Street and 16 Hill Street, Auburn, Mass., map 65, parcel 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And for all of you following along at home, we're talking about the Ronnie's parcel on Route 20. Okay. So do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, motion to open the hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is the applicant present? Good evening, gentlemen. If you'd like to approach the lectern, introduce yourself, give us an overview of what you'd like to accomplish, please.
Evening. It's nice to see once you're an officer, you got to stay. My name is Mark Johnson from Johnson & Bornstein. I represent Regency RE Investment LLC. With me is Jay Patel, who's a principal. I'd like to just have Jay just introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his company and what he's looking to do.
Sure, thank you. So I'm Jay Patel, local to Massachusetts. I operate retail and automotive uses throughout the state, and we're excited to bring a modern, new, shiny car wash to Auburn, and just excited to get this process started.
Okay. Are there any abutters here? I obviously see only town staff in the audience tonight, but I'll just make sure for the record, do we have any abutters present? Hearing none, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and turn it right over to Vice Chair Maron. To you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the reference point of Old Ronnie's. Greatly appreciated. I think that hones us in directly. Given that this business will be in our aquifer zone, Zone 2 aquifer, so just a couple of questions on how your approach for water remediation, how the runoff and chemicals are going to be treated specifically?
We have our site engineer watching
Okay.
on video, and he's going to respond to certain questions.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Yeah, can you
that. I'm
speak into
sorry.
the microphone, please? sir?
We have the engineer who's out of state watching.
He's on a video.
He's on video, and this a question like that, we're going to put to him, and he'll give us a response to convey.
As long as we can hear him, he can adequately explain what's going on, that's fine.
Chris, you should be good to go.
There's a slight delay.
Okay, we can't hear you, I can hear him clearly, everyone else?
I can hear.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the question one more time is how we're going to treat the chemicals in the aquifer zone?
Yeah, I mean, it's a compound question, if you will, and so essentially the runoff
Yeah,
from
so
a
there's
car wash,
reclaim system.
how it's going to be treated, and also I'd like you to address the recharge. If it's a full recharge and you're reclaiming a certain percentage or all of it, and if the water is going to be recycled.
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead, Chris. Are you speaking, Chris?
I'm listening.
Yeah, so the question is, just the site lies in a aquifer zone, sorry, and the question is just how are we going to address kind of the chemical runoff and what percentage of the water is going to be reclaimed? No?
So there's a 3-tank reclaim system, 2,000 gallons per. Traditionally, reclaim is about 65%. That's a baffle system. It goes from one to the other. The reclaim water is used throughout the process, other than the freshwater rinse down at the end.
And I guess just the stormwater runoff, I guess we could address that piece a little bit.
I'll let Kelly jump in on the stormwater.
Yeah, stormwater is going to be done with underground detention. So we provided some preliminary engineering that we've worked through so far, but then we'll be diving into more engineering after our approval.
And
Hopeful
I'm
approval.
assuming, I think you've already been to the planning board, is this correct? So there was some other, just so the board understands, they went to the planning board first, there were some questions regarding it, and the town thought in the best interest to come before the board and just go through the special permit process as well. So that's why they were approved already at the planning board level, just so you're aware. So I think you're gonna have pretty much a standard recharge system. Was this done by, reviewed by Graves Engineering already?
No, this was just for the special permit, but we'll have a full engineering review with the town. We've already gone through
I just wasn't sure where
preliminary.
this was at the point.
Right, this is, yep, we'll apply for the site plan and then the engineering review as well with our full stormwater plans and everything that the town requires.
Okay. So, do you want to, does anybody else want to ask questions for the recharge system
I'll
or for
reserve-
whatever?
Not for the recharge system. I was going to move on to signage, but I can reserve and let the other board members jump in.
Just in
Mr.
case.
Chairman.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anybody interested in speaking on, like, the recharge or the reclamation system of the car wash itself?
You know, my concern is that we have the water to support the facility. Does the town have enough water to support the facility?
Yeah, so that's been addressed by the water department and they have,
Yep.
yeah, go ahead.
We have submitted a letter. We have submitted a letter with the application from the Auburn Water District. It's with the application based upon the work that's being done, which they anticipated when the letter was written, sometime in July, there would be sufficient water. And that letter is with the application.
Have some wells offline, with all those apartments up across the road. I know there was an issue with water, so I just wanted to make sure that we have sufficient water.
Yeah, they've indicated the board approves supplying water to the proposed car wash contingent upon the completion of the Worcester interconnection. And the interconnection project has been awarded and is scheduled to begin in July. I'm not sure what the status of it is, but we certainly understand that that's going to have to be completed for us to have the water.
That was from the Auburn Water Department?
That's correct.
Do we have a copy?
It's right here. Yep, it's
It's
the
in the-
last
it's in the
page
application.
of the, yep, keep going. So it essentially says that as long as the project goes through and that we get that connection,
Right.
that there will be enough water, according to their,
South Street is shut
Yep.
down.
yeah, the water district has approved, but contingent on the completion of that water from Worcester.
So there is a contingency for that, based on that hookup?
I mean, according to them, yes, I would assume that's something we would condition with if
that-
we
I was thinking-
approved. Yeah,
I
I
was
think
thinking
we
exactly the same
kind
thing.
of have
Our
to.
condition should include that.
Yeah.
Okay, and just for the record, could I just, for the town side, is there any indication that water line from Worcester is going to be interrupted? Is going to be any issues with it that we're aware of? I'm asking Gary, the town side here. Like, the water line they're talking about,
Well, the water line talking about, I believe, is down because of arsenic, if I'm not mistaken, if I read it correctly.
Yeah, on South
They're-
Street.
and they're-
I'm
and they're
referring to this
putting in
letter here
the,
from the Water
the-
District.
The treatment facility, the application is in the system as we speak, going through the queue.
Right.
And they're looking to get started, and so they say, once that's completed, approved, and for use, that's when that will come back online. The water's there, you just can't use it.
right, no, what I was asking was, though, it's contingent upon receiving a water line from Worcester.
The interconnection with Worcester.
inter-
Well, yeah, the interconnection, it's all part of that, right?
Right, so that's what I mean, is
And the
there
water
any
department's not
indication
gonna
that it's
sign
going to be
off.
interrupted at all?
And then they're not going to sign off on this until the water's there.
Right, okay. But we don't have any interruption on that project so far that would indicate any issues with this one, is what I'm asking. Right, okay, so that's good to know. So according to the town, there's no interruption with that project, it's still on schedule to move forward.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, Ms. Bush?
I had that same question, so I don't have anything at this point.
Mr. Garabedian, why are you here?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Do you guys own the parcels, or are you guys going to be renting it out? I just noticed that on the plans you provided, it has other owners besides your business.
Yeah, we purchased this parcel,
Okay.
all 5 parcels.
Perfect.
So, I do have a couple questions. Just first, assuming that you get the approvals that you need from us, what is the timeline on, like, start to finish? How long is it gonna take to put this up?
To my understanding, the process is probably a 6-month build. The site work might take a little bit longer. So we're aiming at probably 12 to 15 months to completion after the permit is granted,
Okay.
as long as the site plan review and everything goes relatively smoothly.
Okay, and it seems like, I mean, because we have plans in front of us and not everybody does if they're watching, you're completely removing everything that's there, right? You're just starting from scratch.
Yes, that's correct. There's a bunch of old buildings on the site, kind of scattered, so everything will be knocked down.
Okay. And the entrance to the car wash, according to the second plan, looks like it's, if I had to guesstimate for the folks at home, like where the barber shop, right, I guess?
Yeah,
The
pretty
one
much
that's
about
like,
that.
there's like a little barber shop that's closest to the street, that's where you're gonna enter?
It's a little bit probably closer to the first parcel, the parcel abutting us with the buses.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's pretty much not as close as it could be, but it's kind of as farther away from the intersection as we could, because we didn't want to make that dangerous and having people turn in, right where they're,
Yep, okay, so
that red
on
light
the
is, so-
first parcel, okay.
yes.
And then what about, it looks like you're keeping the access that's directly on Hill Street,
That's correct.
also an in and an out? According to the plan, it looks like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
In and out, okay,
That's the existing entrance that's there.
yeah, okay.
And you know what's interesting? I'm glad you pointed that out. But as I was speaking to Mr. Maron earlier, there happens to be one on Park Avenue, Worcester, that was just rebuilt. It's the Scrub-A-Dub, and I have that service. It's pretty much the same layout as what they did there, with this two, entryway on both sides going on one direction, and then a controlled flow on the other side, because they'll put the vacuums where they do or whatever, right? So
Yep,
it allows some people to just go in there to use the vacuum, and not necessarily the car wash or vice versa.
Will the entrance and exit exclusively be on Hill,
no, it looks like right here,
on Southbridge, on 20?
on 20.
Right.
So probably in this way, right?
You can only go right, well,
Go out through.
Then you can go out.
Yes, you
Okay,
could
so
go
it's gonna be in here, but that's far enough away, and they're all gonna have to, but the exit is all through Hill Street, correct? Yeah. Unless they're coming in to use vacuums.
well, it looks like you could still get out this way, right?
If you want, if people wanted to backtrack that way, they can still
Get
go
out
that
and
way.
go
but
right.
I think it looks to me, the way the design is laid out, it would favor using Hill Street mostly.
Agreed, but I would suggest that there's still, even if they were to backtrack and go out towards 20, there's enough room in that lot.
Right.
For
Oh,
them
yeah.
to do that safely.
Yeah, and there's plenty of
and
view,
join traffic.
on both sides
I
too,
don't
right?
agree, I don't see it problematic.
Okay,
And they're gonna need site plan approval
correct.
from,
Well, they already
so-
have it, they went to planning already, so.
But they did, no, you know, I think he said they didn't, right? You
Oh,
don't
I
have
thought
site
they
plan
did go to-
approval from planning.
We do not, we still have to go to planning.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
gotcha, thank you.
Yeah, this I don't love, but that's not my job, so.
You can see too, I see
stay
where they're
out of that.
representing three-car width right there, that's pretty
Yeah,
wide.
but just like people going in and coming in and out. But again, that's not really for us to
Mm-hmm. Right,
decide. so
right,
That's up
exactly.
to site plan, okay. Yeah, I don't, other than my emotional connection to the old Ronnie's, I don't have any other questions.
So I just have a few, actually, if I could, please. Going back to the reclamation system that's in the car wash itself. So first of all, how wide will the car wash track be? Will it fit a full-size pickup truck? Will it fit an F-250, F-350?
Yeah, it'll be full-sized.
All right,
When I'm
I'm
coming in as many
selfishly asking
vehicles.
that because I drive a Raptor and it's wider than everybody
wow.
else's truck, so it doesn't always fit.
We'll take your car for sure.
All right, I'm just making sure. That's my own selfish question. But I just want to make sure also, because you're going to have people, we do have a lot of workmen in town. They have work vans with, different things on top. So yeah, I'd like to be able to make sure it serves as much of the community as it can. The other question is, again, going back to the recharge stuff, you said about 65% of your water is reclaimed, 45% lost. So as you're going through the winter, and you're going to have all the sand, sludge, et cetera, that's going to eventually accumulate, how is that managed? Is that cleaned through traps by humans and then dumped out, or how does that work?
Yep, bear with me 1 second.
Good question.
How do we clean out the sand and the dirt in the...
There's an oil water separator.
So, yeah, whether
After
it be
the
something that
three
splashes off on the
tank
floor. or
reclaim
something.
tanks, there's also radiant heat to keep your carry off so that the roads don't become slick.
Okay.
And how is the oil water separator cleaned out?
It'll be done by, just like we'll clean out about every quarter, or every quarter will be a pump truck that comes in, takes the
okay,
sludge out, and then that'll be handled however the municipality and the jurisdiction
So it's taken off
sees
site with
fit.
processing?
Right.
Right, okay, that's good to know. With a vacuum type of truck. And would you say that's a 2,000-gallon tank roughly, would you say, for that?
2,000 gallons, Chris?
Yeah, three 2,000 gallons,
Right.
and Kelly, I believe the oil water separator is 1,500. We have, that's typical, but because we haven't fully designed it, but that would be the typical.
And so the detergents, primarily silicone, well, not just the detergents, we know those are a different type of base, but the finishing products in there, are they all silicone-based?
Are the finishing products silicone-based?
No, but we have all the MSDS, no phosphates, all pretty much can go down the drain, but we have all MSDS sheets for you guys when we get into that.
Right, so that was just my question too, is when you get to the point where you have a 65/45, is the we'll just say, is the liquid with the detergents and soaps or whatever they are in there, are they treated at all before they're released into the system, into the public system?
Is the,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's essentially like a leach, well, not a leach field, sorry. It's like a septic tank where it's tiered, it's aerated while it's in there. So no bacteria is growing, and then as that water's being reused, it's going into the rest of the car wash.
Right, gotcha, okay. So that's fine, I understand all that stuff. But my question was, so none of these soaps, none of these detergents or waxings or finishers adjust the pH of the water at all? So there's no, you're not putting any type of pH adjustments before it gets discharged
No.
into the common system, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to find out first. I wasn't sure if they did. Some systems I've seen in the past do, some don't. That's all I wanted to know. There was another... Right, and the salt, right, that was another question. So eventually, we're going to have a salt accumulation. Is that just kind of, that just get neutralized on its own kind of thing? Is it, goes with the waste? Like,
Say that again?
basically the road chemicals,
Yeah,
right?
the road chemicals and the salt, I guess, what's the process with that? Is it
Does
just,
that ever become an issue with the system? Is it
an
absorbed by the
issue
system
ever?
without effort, or?
No, we haven't had any issues with any of the chemicals. I mean, the carry-off, it's essentially a self-contained unit. Any of the carry-off, it's about 7 gallons of clean RO, reverse osmosis water that's going to come out.
Yep.
Again, we're going to do radiant heat on the entry and exit. So there won't be any black ice. And then as they go through the vacuums, any of that's going to essentially be contained into the site.
Sure, yeah, I just want to make sure that...
Tire shine, et cetera.
Okay. I mean, honestly, those are the concerns that I had, and I, just from working in the biotech industry, understand what they have to do to their water before it gets discharged, so I just wanted to go over that. So, they have everything in place, at least that I could hear and see, so.
And just for the record, Chris Warren was the person who responded to the questions, and then Kelly Schweitzman also responded as well to some of the questions, just so the record can reflect that.
Right. So the one other question I did have, you had mentioned earlier that the final rinse is separate. So the final rinse is a freshwater rinse, and it just starts as fresh water, it goes into the drain as fresh water. That's it, right? And that's where most of your loss really probably is then.
yeah, that's where the loss would be, and it would be that 35%, because it's 65 would be
Yeah,
reclaimed.
exactly.
Yeah.
So a majority of the loss is the freshwater rinse at the end, realistically. Okay, thank
Yep,
you.
that's correct.
Anyone else?
I do, just one question, excuse my ignorance, but the lane that it has like 3 cars across, is that like a pay station? Okay, sorry, I'm used to like...
Yes,
paying
that's the pay
guy.
station, so if you have
Okay.
the pass registered, then you can just go right through, or you can pay at the register there.
And it's all automated?
There'll be someone out there to help you,
Okay,
but yeah, one person, and so they can kind of handle the 3 machines.
okay, perfect.
And you just have somebody, basically like the new one over in Worcester that I use, they have somebody just guiding them into the chute, so to speak? Tell
That's
them when to
correct.
put it in neutral, and then they have somebody in the office if they have any questions or whatever.
Yeah, and we'll have someone to rinse the cars first before
Yeah.
they come in, so that person who's guiding can also rinse.
Sure, okay, perfect. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, recognizing they're going to site planning, probably too soon to talk about signage and lighting, but have you thought about hours of operation?
Yeah, it says it. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week with 3 staff members. It's,
Page
find it
one.
now, but
Is it in the brief?
it is
Page 1.
page, oh
Second
yeah, the
paragraph.
second page of this. 7A to 8P, 7 days a week. And I'm sure if needed, they'll be back for signage if,
Yeah, agree.
once they get to that,
It's
once they
preliminary
get to
talk
that
about
point.
signage now.
Yeah,
And it could very well be that they're within the boundaries of
They
that
could.
area, right? They could just,
Yep. They may.
may not necessarily have to have any larger or smaller.
Very true, unless they want to illuminate or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's predetermined for now.
Most of these places come through, I think you could probably tell, like, this is, a company is coming in and building this model for you probably, right? Is that how that works? Like, so in other words, you're going to contract with a national company, they're going to come in, they're going to build this out for you, and you're going to take control of it when it's done, right?
It will be involved in the process, but yes, they'll advise it.
Yeah, so they're kind of like a standardized sets of plans that they use, and they go around and do their things with it, and I think that's like with the dealerships, they tend to have their standard signs.
Yeah, it's not section.
Yeah.
Everything's on the up and up.
I don't have any other questions. Anyone else? Do you?
Do you have one? No.
I was just going to ask about the sign for the board, but we brought that up, so.
Right, okay. Anyone else? Anything else? I just want to make sure, I saw a gentleman walk in. Do we have any abutters that would like to speak on this?
It's from my office.
Okay, I just want to make sure. That's okay. Hearing none, seeing none. Thank you. Do we have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Chairman, motion to close the public portion.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? No? Any comments or questions from the board?
No, I mean, I think all areas have been covered, recognizing what they're trying to accomplish and the fact that it's going to be a lot of standard plug and play from an organization that does this every day. I do think if we move forward with a positive vote, that we should contingent a condition based on the availability, the connection for the water supply. And as you'd suggested, Mr. Chairman, and what the water department indicates is that that's on track for 26, so it shouldn't be a hiccup. But I do think we should condition it, making sure that they have assurance of supply of the water.
Sounds good. Anyone else?
Makes sense.
No? Okay. Do I have a motion on the 6 PM applicant Regency RE Investments LLC requesting a special permit under section 32514 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a car wash facility at 861, 871, 879, 873 Southbridge Street and 16 Hill Street, Auburn, Mass., map 65, parcels 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve as stated, with standard conditions with the addition of a condition that speaks directly to securing supply of water based on the water department's indication that completion in 26 and the Worcester interconnection needs to be made.
Okay. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. Congratulations. We thank you for doing business in town. Good luck with the rest of
Thank
the
you very much.
process.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to working with you guys,
thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Good luck.
seeing your Raptor for sure.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close the 6 PM hearing?
Motion to close the hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Hearing none, seeing none. Okay, so we have some decisions. Predominantly, we have, of course, let me get this out now before I hear it out. Okay. This is the point where we're going to review and finalize the special permit, comprehensive special permit for the Chapter 40B project that we've been working on for the last year. So if you remember, at the end of the last hearing, the request was to have, from the vice chair, basically specifically was stronger language as it related to the legal issues surrounding the private road. So we did meet, we broke it down at one point. I think he sent you an email copy of that so you could read it, but they took it a step further and they brought it back to the attorney again, requesting stronger language, and I think they did a fantastic job. I'm pretty confident that we won't get much better than this. I don't think we can send it back a third time. I don't think we can be any more firm without committing the town to possibility of getting itself involved, right? That's what we're trying to avoid here, all intent and purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and read through it, and then we can have it for discussion. So it's 3.2.41 of the comprehensive permit, and it is on page 9 for anyone following along. The town has no authority over the private way. Any improvements, alterations, repairs, or similar work which is planned within the bounds of Perry Place, a private way, by the applicant or its agents must be performed in accordance with the developer's legal rights, in recognition of the rights of all abutters and/or as required by law. So then it goes on to say 3.2.41.1, the developer shall address in detail and in writing to the town, 1, how the proposed project will impact the private rights of the abutters on Perry Place, including addressing the issue of the potential overburdening of the easement. 2, how the developer will mitigate any identified impacts at the developer's own expense. And 3, a detailed legal explanation of how the developer has the right to widen Perry Place a private way. On to 3.2.41.2. The developer shall not perform any widening, resurfacing, development, alteration, maintenance, repair, or otherwise alter Perry Place in any manner without first verifying that such proposed work has been approved by the town and by all abutters to Perry Place in a written agreement, or has been allowed by order of a court or competent jurisdiction. So, if anyone of our legal experts on the board would like to break that down or go over it, I'm confident that we can do that if anybody has any questions or concerns about that language.
So what I see is all the neighbors have to agree?
Correct.
One thing I would just want a discussion of, Mr. Chairman, is for 4.2.41.2. It says approval by the town and all the abutters. I don't believe the town has any interest in this determination outside of its capacity as an abutter itself, so we might just want to clarify that approved by the town in its role, capacity, whatever, as an abutter of Perry Place.
So I think we did discuss that. And Gary, do you want to speak on that, clarify what he's concerned with?
Well, it starts right off the top, that, the town, doesn't have any authority there. So he's trying to say that we should alleviate the town by saying that they have to have some form of approval by us. We can kind of oversee it and overview it and review it, send it to the attorney for things. But I don't believe we actually have a vote to say, oh, no, that doesn't meet ours and we're not going to let you because we don't have any interest in it.
Well, we do have at least I think one tax title along Perry Place, which further complicates it. We're in a butter.
There you go. So now it's something.
Is there what further on
I
there?
believe the town has a tax title to one of the properties off of Perry Place. Mr. Largess brought that up, so that means we're officially an abutter to Perry Place as well as just being the town generally.
Town side, do we want to duly note that? Because that is correct. There is a, okay, thank you very much. Just for the record, the town has acknowledged that they are aware of that. Okay,
So then the town has say. If they're in a butter, the town.
right.
As an abutter.
That would make sense.
Yeah, sure.
I was unaware of that.
Okay. Is there any other clarification that, in the paragraphs that I read that would concern anyone else? Okay. So is everybody in agreement with this type of language? Since we've already agreed to we've already voted this in, I just want to make sure this is your language that you agree with, before you officially send it in.
Yep, so thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
I think, so I went away from last meeting looking for the kind of language that's in 32412 specifically. And although I appreciate why it starts the way it does, that the town does not have
The authority over the private way?
the authority, as said, I would have been concerned if this went as far as, because 3.2.41.1 was essentially where we were left last time.
Correct.
And so I think our focus tonight is at 3.2.41.2 that basically I'll just put the framework around, it adds the rigor that this needs to be either adjudicated correctly or that is an agreement by all the abutters and the developer.
Correct.
One or the other. All right, so it certainly gives that option, but it gives the option in such a way that either one has to be completely satisfied.
Correct.
Correct.
One other thing, sorry.
No, keep going.
One
This is
other
what
thing
we're
I
here
had
for.
with just 3.2.41.2 is we might want to also clarify in a written agreement recorded in the registry of deeds as well. Just that way, it's also a easement on all the properties. It clarifies it to all the properties, runs with the properties.
It does put a finer point on it.
I'm actually putting note here for that right now. So we could have that for discussion, certainly, if that's where we're going to go. And we'll bring that up when we finish everything else, I suppose, but,
Would, if I may, Mr. Chairman, would such an agreement have to be recorded?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I like crossing my T's, dotting
I
my
would
I's,
agree.
making sure it's in there.
Especially because of the private way, it really is a road issue. And that's your registry of deeds right there, it's all,
Very good.
roads and lots.
Yep,
Yeah.
then I would agree with that addition.
Well, and from the developer's perspective, if by some miracle they get all the neighbors to agree, they certainly want that to be recorded, so if a house is sold, the next person can't say, well, I
They-
don't
they
agree.
have that in-
It's-
They would
you
have
don't
that in
get the right-
perpetuity
yeah,
for the right,
yes.
for the rights therein.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Agree. Okay. Yep, then I would agree on that. I think that's a substantive change.
Any other questions, concerns? Now, the one thing I would point out that Dr. Menard and I actually brought up in the meeting, I think it's fair to say, is that 3241.2 does say all of these things about the road, but it does not necessarily say they cannot begin the process of working at their site, right? Because the site is not restricted itself, it's the road. So that's my debate question for you all. I would believe that, in my opinion, means they could possibly start construction at the site.
Personally, I wanted the road issue squared away before.
Right.
And if it starts.
Right, that's the intent, I just want to make sure that's clear. And we can just say that on the record, doesn't need to be in there, but I think it really, I'm just making sure I understand it.
Yeah, I would want that, the
think-
road issue squared away before you start.
If the board would want that, I think in theory we could add after this, so the developer shall not perform any widening, et cetera, of Perry Place without first verifying. So between Perry Place and, or without, between Manor and without
Yep.
a comma, and I think you can put in, and no building permits shall be issued without first verifying.
So the one thing, though, it goes back to, and I'm going to caution that, we talked about this in the meeting, so before we can agree to this, I would definitely run it by the attorney again, because going back to the one point here, the town has no authority over the private way. So that might be implying that we have authority by holding the permit up on the private way. Is that possible, or no?
Not sure.
Okay, I'm just asking, I just think that that's an important.
No, you know what, I think that's a slippery slope, Mr. Chairman. I agree with you in principle, but I would suggest that until, I mean, the premise of this is until this is resolved, that I think
Correct.
Mr. Cussy is leaning into, is that they shouldn't move forward. So what we're not doing is, we're not making a determination, yes or no, but we're suggesting that we wouldn't issue
Right.
a building permit until this is resolved to the satisfaction of the language in this section. So
I think it-
I think it applies. I think it adds. I think we can help. And let me just ask, I mean, can we hold a building permit for a condition in
You know,
such an agreement?
It really comes down to, do they have access to the property without it? You know, and if they have no access to the property without it, if they cannot maintain and keep the betterments to get to their property, I don't see how they can
Okay. I just
come
wanted to
me and
clarify
say-
that
Say
publicly.
there's a building permit
Great.
on it.
So
Yeah.
I think it's an ad, sorry.
But I think I don't think anyone argues the fact that they have access. They absolutely, if they own that parcel, they have the same right as every other person on that street. They own to the center line, so they can drive, Mr. Vinacasa can go park his car there right now when he leaves here. He absolutely has access to the site. Our thing has always been, do they have the right to overburden that access by putting a development that's going to have thousands of cars go back and forth at the disadvantage of the neighbors who also own to the center line? So I don't know that we can, if he can fit a dump truck down there, I don't know that we can say we won't give him a building permit.
It might also be better to leave it up to the law of economics of. he
Right, they might
wanna
not want to start
constructing,
until
yeah.
they know that, I mean, if they start and then they are barred and they
Understood.
can't build this, I mean,
You
then
really
that's
can't
up
build
to
it
them.
without the road being
Well,
corrected.
and it was discussed in
can't build
our
this on
meeting
a
as
road.
well, that the water and sewer have to come down that road,
You don't want
Right.
to start it.
and which would mean that betterments would have to be done on that road, and
Right.
it's already said no betterments can be done on the road.
Right, but if he wants to,
Water and
So
sewer
I
can't
can't
get down there
get the
anyway.
sewer and water to sign off, it doesn't even get to my box.
Yeah, I think both things are equally true, to your point, Ms. Roach, and that I think the economics can certainly play out if I'm the developer, and I don't try to spend a lot of time with that hat on, but if I'm the developer, I'm economically looking at this and gauging the risk, right? And so I think that's a primary factor, but to your point, he absolutely has access,
Of course.
you know, to access his property. But having said that, the issuance of a building permit, it's not the access, but it's the issuance of a building permit predicated on the fact that he can move
All the
forward.
boxes have to be checked.
Right, all right, but based on-
Conservation, water, sewer, stormwater management.
Right.
All the elevation, I mean, as far as the developer goes, he would have to spend a ton of money, which he has to get even ready to get into that box. This is
Right.
preliminary drawings, preliminary concept of what we're gonna do. As soon as he gets the full approval, all of a sudden, that's when the real digging and the spending goes. And I don't think he would jump that without knowing that he'd be able to use it.
So I'll just say that the tedious conservative in me suggests that I like this with the language of building permit shall not be issued. However, I think based on the factors that are there, I think the risk is minimal to have it without it. So I could be away from it, but I do like the conservative nature of it.
Ms. Bush, any thoughts on it?
Oh, I agree. I don't think we need the language in there because he's not gonna build on it if he can't, put the improvements for the entire building.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, but I agree with everyone, so as long as we're happy, I'm satisfied, I think this went really well. I don't think we can do any more due diligence on this process than we already have. I think we've dotted every I think we've crossed every T, checked every comma. I think we're in pretty good shape, and I think we've protected this town as best as we possibly could, given the process. So, that's my thought.
So, Mr. Chairman, are we going to suggest adding that any said agreement would need to be recorded?
I would just do the registry of deeds, and that would be it. I think that's a good advisement. Just make sure it's recorded, because again, that protects both parties.
Very good. So we would
I think
make
that's in
that
fairness.
addition. So
I
we
would put
make that
it,
addition?
I would put that
And
one.
it's gonna go right behind, place in a written agreement, recorded at registry of deeds, and then, or has been allowed by order of the court or competent jurisdiction.
Okay, and can I ask, Mr. Fallon, why do I have 4 copies of this? I have 4 copies of this document to be signed.
Here's
Sign them, if we want
here's
that.
the signing page.
I have 4
Yeah,
individual
because
copies,
I started.
but I have 4 individual copies of the same document requesting all of our signatures. Okay,
That's the one that needs to be signed right
This is
there.
the original one, and I'm not, I
Oh,
don't
these are,
sign.
because this is the updated, this is your, because they gave us a new updated copy when you came to the meeting today.
okay, but we're not signing these, we're signing a signature.
I see.
Correct.
Yeah, this one,
Okay,
this
because
is
we started
his
signing
original.
these,
Yes,
is what I'm suggesting.
I got you, I understood. I realized after I did that, correct.
This is
Not
the
a problem.
town's original, right
No,
now.
that's fine.
Mr. Garabedian
Yeah, no, that's fine. I
did
mean,
that one.
for nostalgia, we can have our signatures published if you wish. I just want it from a clerical perspective. I want to make sure that Mr. Fallon has what he needs, because he knows where I live.
So I'm signing off on that one.
Yep.
Okay, with the promise that we're going to make that addition to that last page
Correct.
based on recording?
Yep.
Okay, very good.
And are we adding the language about the town also being in a butter in there, or is that just, it's on the record now?
Well, that's why it says town and all the butters. We're technically in all the butter, but if they wanted to clarify it, I don't see why not.
If you're, you own, and you're a butter, yes, you're involved.
Yeah.
Okay. And this closes a very, very long chapter. This is like a Harry Potter book right here, I'll tell you. Complete with Dementors and everything.
I'm not.
Periodically, we're going to have to ask Mr. Vanacosta to come back and just say hello periodically.
I know, we're gonna miss you.
We've enjoyed these Thursday evenings together.
Well, I think we'll be seeing,
Yeah.
I think you will be seeing you probably shortly again anyway, right?
Yes,
So,
probably the next 2 months.
yeah, okay, so we'll see you when the time comes again. Come on up. Come on up. Sure, you can.
I guess, so my only concern is obviously with all the butters have to sign off. Like, that's gonna be extremely difficult.
Well,
for me
that's
to get.
if they give you an opportunity to do that, right? So if you can get everybody to sign off on it, then you don't have to take it anywhere. You don't have to go to court, you don't have to go, it's agreed upon. I mean, I think there's only 2 or 3 left now, isn't there? Didn't one of them leave, I thought?
But that's also just the way it works as a private way, where every abutter has a right in it. So you need everyone who has rights in that property to sign off on it. You can't just have 3/4 or 99.9%, because that 0.1% still can stop you from exercising anything on that road.
Would somebody who's beyond me still have to?
that's probably talk to your attorney. I'd say anyone who has access to the road is who that is, because if they're on that road, they own that road, and that's really the problem. Is their ownership interest of the road, is the easement of the road, the widening or not widening of the road, so.
Right. Okay.
Obviously, this is a very complicated process. I think the next one we have, hopefully will go a lot smoother for everyone involved. I think we're gonna be better prepared for the next one.
I just found out that's a private road too.
That's what?
Athens is a private road too, so.
Well, this might resolve your problem.
That
who
came, my
knows?
attorney called me, he's like, just so you know. I'm like, no, that was Perry. He's like, no, it's Athens too. I'm like, awesome. Like,
Here we go.
that'll be fun.
We'll start crossing that bridge literally when we come to it.
At least we know what it is now, you know? So,
All right.
all right, I appreciate
To
it.
know more about private roads. Everybody in the state will know more about private roads after you finish.
Okay. So we have the decisions to be made for the Philadelphia sign, 362 Sulphur Street, which is Chase Bank, and then Steve Moss for 420 South Street. Those decisions have to be signed. We have the minutes for February 3rd of '25, which was the 40B presentation, and 5/22/25. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as stated and mentioned?
Mr. Chairman, oh, excuse me.
No. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 2/3/25 and 5/22/25.
Do I have a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman, as stated.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none? Do we have anything for discussion? So I do know that we have a couple of, if anybody's interested, we do have a couple of other 40B projects coming up relatively quickly. They are holding public hearings at the town hall here. If anybody's interested in attending, just to hear what the residents have a concern. And then we are also meeting again this coming Monday night. We have a 40B, it's sort of like an action committee. What they're trying to do is set up a checklist to make sure we do get notified of a 40B project. We're going to have an action plan in place so everybody gets notified in an appropriate amount of time. We have an ability to document everything that we need, when to get the consultant involved. So we've been kind of planning, getting ourselves in line that we can be better prepared to absorb these next couple of projects coming down the road.
Yeah, it would be nice if they could finish up the one up on, across from Ronnie's. Get us up to our 10%.
Right.
It just keeps coming.
That one doesn't bring us to 10, that brings us to 9.8%.
Right, but I mean, so if one of
This
these
one's
goes
abstaining from me.
done.
That's it. Get one of these across the finish line, the rest have to stop coming.
Right.
But if they all get in the queue before you reach it, it's like they're in the queue, and,
Too many apartments.
yeah, that's the problem with these things.
No, that's Mr. Mr. Chairman, that's Mr. Custer.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Correct. Thank you for clarifying that one on me. Thank you. And then, so I don't have any unforeseen business. Does the town have anything they need to address?
Mr. I
Please go ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt you if anyone.
You're not at all.
I was only going to suggest, and I wanted to do it in between, but I haven't yet. But I wanted to go on the record. I'd like the board's agreement that we put before the Board of Selectmen for Mr. Chacolo and his years of service on this board, that we put before them perhaps a recognition, perhaps a plaque, or I know that it's been done before. When I early joined the board years ago, I remember we did it for a gentleman that was outgoing at that time. And so I'd like your agreement to put before the Board of Selectmen that we do such a thing for Mr. Cole for his years of service to the town directly.
I would agree with that, absolutely. So do I have a motion that I can draft an email or a letter requesting, and I can forward it to all of you through the town? That way you can read it before I send it, and requesting a proclamation from the town for his years of service?
If that's the process, how our board would communicate with the Board of Selectmen, then I would very much like to do that. I'd make a motion to do so, Mr. Chairman.
And do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second that motion, sure.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second and a motion? All approve?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone not approve? Great, okay, yeah, I agree. I'll definitely set that up. I'll try to knock one out in the next day or two.
Excellent.
I'll get it over to you. I think that's a great idea. You know what, you laugh, but I was gonna suggest that we add a plaque to the back of this and give him his nameplate.
I think that's
Have that on his desk.
I
And then,
think
you know, the
that's-
zoning board of appeals behind it.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, no, I would very much like to do that and recognize him in such a way, and perhaps we could invite him to either one of our meetings, or if the Board of Selectmen
Sure.
could be a part of that, we could invite him to a Board of Selectmen meeting.
No,
and
I'd absolutely love
present
to.
that to Mr. Chacolo,
Yeah.
as I'm sure he is riveted on his couch watching us this evening.
And we miss you already, and if you are watching us, go find something else to do.
We do indeed, Larry.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
You may, please.
Just with us signing the comprehensive permit for Perry Place, that's, I think it's officially going to be my time on the board, so I just wanted to thank everyone for their hospitality on the board, making me feel welcomed, getting me into this process, and it's been an honor, so.
And it's been great having you, too, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate all
You're
of it.
here.
You're going to be a fantastic attorney in your chosen field at some point.
Thank you.
Hopefully, you end up presiding over as a judge, presiding over a private way matter. So,
I'll be thinking back on you guys.
it all started here.
You'll be ahead of the game.
All right.
Wish you the best.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Nobody's opposed, I'm assuming?
Nope.